Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good evening, and welcome to Believe in the Journey podcast, where I'm your host, Triveda Harris. And tonight I am honored to close out my season two of Believe in the Journey with Dr. Carolyn Stevens. She is an amazing woman, and she is always thinking of ways to uplift and empower other African American women. So, before we do anything, we have to go to God in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us together as you do each and every time we come in front of you. Thank you for an amazing season. For each and every guest that you have brought to me has been one that has allowed me to have confirmation in what I have been called to do. Each and every guest has solidified that I am on the right path. I am doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. Even though there have been moments where I have wanted to run away from what it is that you are calling me to do, but I know that every guest has been a confirmation to stay on track and stay focused. Let the words of my mouth tonight fall upon the ears that need to hear. Let what Miss Carolyn has to say tonight fall upon the ears that need to hear. Continue to watch over us and protect us, and let no hurt, harm, or danger come anywhere near us. Let no weapons that are forming, do not let them prosper. In your precious and holy name, I pray. Amen. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about my guest that is coming on tonight. Dr. Carolyn Stevens was raised in New York. She now resides in Atlanta. She serves the community as a clinical therapist and family support specialist. As I said before, she focuses on empowering and developing African American women. She is a founder of I Am Black Woman book series that you can purchase on Amazon. Please welcome Dr. Carolyn to the show. Hey!
Hey, good evening. How are you? How are
I
you?
am good. How are you doing?
I'm doing absolutely wonderful. And good evening to each and every one of you you're tuning in, and maybe some of you might see this on a replay or something. But
Yes.
good evening to you.
Well, I thank you for being here tonight. I thank you for actually being my final guest of this season of Believe in the Journey. It has been an amazing season, too. So, I want to start by asking you to introduce yourselves because I have known you for just a short amount of time, but you are an amazing woman and you have connected me with some amazing people, and they are now my other sisters. So,
Yeah.
tell me a little bit about you so that they can get to know you.
All right. So let me see where I would begin. Well, first
Okay.
and foremost, my name is Dr. Carolyn Stevens. I currently reside in Atlanta, Georgia. Uh, I am a clinical family therapist and absolutely love what I'm doing. So, and I hear music in the background, so I want to make sure that I'm kind of talking so that you
I
can
don't
hear me.
know where the music is coming from
I
because I'm not
know, I
seeing
hear,
any.
but I dig the music. I dig it. I just don't know if I'm almost scared to continue going with the
Keep
music.
going.
But
Yeah, keep going.
I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia, as a clinical family therapist. A okay, there it is. Awesome. So I'm also a publisher. I am an author. I'm an award-winning author, so I'm really thankful to God for that. And most importantly, I'm a woman that loves God.
Yes, amen.
Anybody knows anything about me, I want them to know that I am a woman that loves God. That is the most
Amen.
important thing. And so that's a little bit about me. I'm a mom of three beautiful children.
Okay.
Uh, ages. Let me make sure I get the ages right. Uh, let's see, because they're all adults now.
Okay.
So the ages of the children are 24, 25, and 31. My son is 31.
Okay.
David, 31. And so, out of anything that I've ever accomplished, that is my most valuable is to say that I'm a mom with children. Uh, so I have people now, Queen, who are texting and all kinds of things are going on because they're asking me how can they join and all
How
that.
can
So
they
maybe
watch
they
the
might see
show?
maybe they might see the replay. I don't know, but I have tons of people who are texting me right now asking how can they join, and I am deeply humbled and appreciative of the support. And I know that I have some family that may be watching me tonight. I'm actually traveling, so I'm in the house with family, but I have some family who wants to join and be on this YouTube with me, and so I will try my best to navigate and send links if I can. But we'll send the replay if we can't get that done.
Well, I tagged you
Actually,
in a post.
I hear music playing at the same time, Queen. So I don't know how to.
I've tagged you in a post, so if they go to my Facebook page right now, which is Triveda Harris, they should be able to click on the link and be able to watch. And if they have questions and want to interact with the show, they're welcome to do so. I encourage them to do so. But they can always go to YouTube. Excuse me, the Inspiring Authors Magazine. Um, and look for the YouTube link, the Crew Podcast, and
Okay.
it should be there for them to watch.
Okay.
But I know they're
Okay.
gonna keep texting and asking questions as we go through this. That's how family
Yeah,
does.
I've got people. I've got people on my mobile device who happen to be asking me how they can get on. Uh, so uh, we are we are live, kind of on Twitch.
Yep,
Um,
Twitch,
yeah,
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn and
Yep,
YouTube,
yep.
and so anybody out there who's listening, I would say, maybe you could tell some people that that's what we're on, and that they could come in. But the good news is that they can always. I'm actually, well, while I'm speaking with you, Queen, I'm actually kind of maneuvering my mobile device because I'm out of town. So I don't
Yes,
have
ma'am.
all of my equipment properly set up, but I'm kind of multitasking here a little bit and tell people kind of how they get on. But they'll see the replay at all at all. But I'm here. That's what I'm glad about. I'm here. I'm here with you. And I knew I would be traveling. I'm actually in the state of South Carolina. Uh,
Oh, so you're
I
close
could
to
not
me.
tell you no. Yeah, I could not tell you no because you have been so absolutely fabulous for us, and I could not say no. There's just sometimes that you just can't tell a sister no. You just have to make yourself available, and you have to
Yeah.
make a way. And you were one of those people
Well, I
that I
thank
wanted to
you.
make a way for, because you deserve it, and you've been good to me, and so I had to make a way, and so I made a way, and I'm here.
Well, I thank you for including me in your time and your space with your family because I know family is one of those things that we don't really think about until the holidays sometimes come around. And we want to make sure that we're creating memories and everything. So for you to include me in that time, I am grateful for that.
Yeah,
Tell
and
me a little bit.
I see that and I absolutely love her, so I guess I'll go ahead and give her a shout out. Uh, so I always call her my little sister.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm just going to make a prerequisite here, y'all. It's not because I'm old, okay? Don't get it twisted.
Yes,
Um, I
ma'am. Yes,
I
ma'am.
just happen to be a couple years older than Angela Thomas, okay? And so we have just deemed each other as I'm big sister, she's little sister. Uh, and Angela, if you're listening, I just love you. I don't know how to even. I don't know in what way to express that, but the bottom line is that if Angela tells me to do something, then I'm going to do it,
Yeah,
whether I
she
know
has
how to
that
do it or
effect
not.
on people.
Whether I know how to do it or not, I'm going to do it. Whether I have time to do it or not, I'm going to do it. So if Angela Thomas tells me to do something, I'm just only going to ask, how do I get it done? So Angela, and I see that Angela, she's just got that place in my heart. And because Angela is that kind of person
Yes.
that she's always going to be there for you. And I guess that kind of goes along with the subject matter that we're talking about. But
Yes.
in any reason, Angela has sent me uh she has sent me some kind of a text. I do see that she has done that. And so you guys, I'm gonna I'm going to share as best as I can. I'm gonna share Angela Thomas's text because she's the person that can help us maneuver here and get on. So anyway, if you see me sharing text and all that kind of good stuff, that's what I'm doing. But she's just she's one of those kinds of people that when she
Yeah.
tells me to do something, then I automatically obey. And that's not
Yeah.
because I love her and she loves me. And I don't ask her no questions. She just tells me what to do, and I'm gonna do it.
She
So
has that effect
that's
on
how that's
people.
how.
She definitely has
Well,
that
she
effect
has
on
that
people.
effect on people. She has that effect on people because uh, she practices what she preaches.
That she
I
does.
think that's the best way I could say it.
Yeah.
Angela Thomas is one of those people that if she tells you to support. She's qualified to tell you that because she's a person that supports. And
She
so
does.
you have no option but to support because she is a person that supports. She does it with all of her strength and all of her might. And
Yes.
so I just took Angela into my heart. And
Mm-hmm.
so I automatically click on the obey button. And
She's
when she tells
I
me,
met Angela a couple years ago doing a virtual monologue, and we've been locked in ever since. And as you say, she's your little sister. She's my big sister. So that's how we go with each other. So she
well,
says
that's
I'm
good
the
to know because
hashtag
it
version.
means that I have it means Triveda that I have a little bit of clout because I'm a big sister.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
gives me a little bit of clout. But if she tells me to do something, I'm gonna do it. You know, and I have to tell you now, if somebody bothers her, I'm going to take it personal.
Right.
so,
Right.
she's just one of those people that is in the secret place of my heart that I'm just there for her, and I
Mm-hmm.
have to tell you, you have to be a special kind of lady to have that kind of position in someone's heart. But
Right.
she never does anything. She never tells you to do anything that she does not do.
Right. That is true.
And that is what that is what encourages you to do what she asks you to do, because she's not going to ask you to do something that she's not going to do. She's going to be the first
Right.
person to do it, and so you basically kind of following
Follow.
suit with her. So
Yep.
that's how it goes with Angela Thomas. I'm totally committed to her world, though. Angela, I know. I got to be honest. There are things that she asked me to do, and sometimes I get a little backed up because of my schedule.
Hmm.
But she knows that I'm gonna make it up to her. So some kind of I'm always going to do whatever she tells me to do, whether I got to come on the late end or the front end. But I'm always gonna do what she
Angela
tells me to.
has this way of pulling things out of you that you didn't even know you had in you. That is one thing that I can say that lady definitely knows how to do. She will see something that you probably never even thought of. It may have been just a little twinkling of something. And once she sees it, she's like, oh, you can do this. So let me just go ahead and just give you that little extra push so that you can get it done. Because
do.
I have doing this podcast is one of those things. When she was initially looking for people to do it, I inquired about it. Wasn't quite sure if I could do it, but I have done it, and I have been consistent in doing it. And she just keeps adding extra little things onto me, and I'm gonna make it happen regardless of what it is that she says, because she sees me in other areas that I'm still getting my feet wet, but in her eyes I already know how to do it, so just get it done. And so
Well, you better do it. That is Angela and I have connected because we're a lot alike.
hmm
And when you're a visionary, you see things in people that sometimes they don't see in themselves.
true, very true.
And when you have the heart of a sister,
hmm
you want them to do the things that they don't see in themselves, and you
Exactly.
don't have a motive. You
Yeah.
want you want them to go ahead, you want them to do it,
hmm
and you don't have a motive. And unfortunately, in this life, you're not going to meet very many people
Right.
that you can call a sister, because what a sister does is a sister wants more of the best for you than they
Right.
want themselves.
Exactly.
That is, and that's because they see a part of themselves
In you,
in
yeah.
you, and they say to themselves, if I can't do it, then
I
you
know who
go
can. Yep.
you go forward and you do it for me.
Exactly.
And
And
I don't
one
want to
thing
get
about
I don't
Angela,
want to get teary eyed here, but
it's
I
okay.
try not to. I'm trying to hold back on emotion, but that is the
Listen, if
true
you
nature of
have
sis.
to, go
Well, I
ahead.
will. I will, because I'm authentic, and so if I have to cry, I will. But that is the true nature of sisterhood. Is sisterhood says, go for me,
Yes.
go, uh, speak for me,
Yes.
do it for me, because maybe I'm in a place, in a position where I can't do it for me. But if you go, it's just like me doing
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
So you go for me. You speak for me. You do the book for me. You, whatever that may be, you do that for me, and take my spirit of love, take it with you,
Exactly.
and move it forward. And I gotta tell you, there's not a lot of people that's gonna do that for you, because people have if my armor bearer
Ulterior
was
motive.
on if my armor bearer was on tonight, she'd know what I mean when I say this. People have programs and agendas.
Exactly. They do.
I'm gonna speak. I'm gonna preach that message one day. Programs and agendas, and
Yep.
people have programs and agendas, and
Yep.
sometimes people have um, programs and agendas, and they
Yeah.
don't have your authentic They don't have your authentic best will at heart.
Right.
But let me say this to you, and I know we hadn't even gotten into the interview yet, and I'm just about
It's okay. We're conversating,
so
conversing, as they say.
uh everything that God gives you, it isn't necessarily for you.
Right.
When
That is
God gi-
true.
when God gives you something, whether that could be an idea or whatever that may be,
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't mean that it's for you. It could be
Exactly.
that it's for your
Someone
sister.
else. Yep.
And so you have to be of right heart and right
Mm-hmm.
spirit to be able to say that's not for me, that's for my sister. And so
Yes.
I've got to release it, and I've got to do everything that God wants me to do because that's for her.
Mm-hmm.
That's not for me. And
Exactly.
I love people
Mm-hmm.
enough to do what the Bible tells me to do, which is to prefer my sister over myself. If
Exactly.
God gives me something and it's not necessarily for me,
Mm-hmm.
then I love God's people enough to give it to you so that you can execute it.
Yes,
And if
ma'am.
I see that you execute it, if I see that you do it, it's just like me doing it because my spirit goes with you to
Yes.
do it. So
Yeah.
I think that goes along with what we're talking about tonight,
It's keeping
where
my
we're
sister's
talking
crown
about
adjusted.
fixing my sister's crown.
Yes.
You have to make sure. So I guess I'm going to go into this a little bit early.
It's all right.
You've got to make sure that you got your stuff together inside.
Exactly.
You've got to make sure that you have you together inside in
Mm-hmm.
order to love properly.
Yes.
If you don't have you together inside, then you're unable to love properly. Just because
Exactly.
my sister, it's her time, it's her season. See, because
Mm-hmm.
the thing is, it may not be my season right yet, but
Mm-hmm.
it may be her season.
Right.
And you've got to have enough healing, and I want y'all to underline healing. You've got to
Mm-hmm.
have enough healing inside of yourself to know, no, it's not my season, but it is her season. And
Mm-hmm.
let her go forward first. And then when it's my time, I will come forward whenever God tells me to come forward. But I definitely know that it's her season at the right time. And I got to tell you that unfortunately, Travita, enough of us don't have our stuff together and
Mm-hmm.
be able to properly do that because we're still in competitive mode. But
Mm-hmm.
listen, it doesn't matter who goes first as long as we all go.
Exactly.
And let me
And I
stop right
tell
there
people,
and let you ask the questions, girl, because I'm supposed to be on the interview. So let me let you
well,
ask.
listen, it's not really an interview. It's just a conversation. I don't really do interviews. We talk. And that's just how it goes. But I want to just go back to what you were saying. People don't understand that what you were saying is very true, because sometimes you are the blessing to someone else, and what you are going through, you're connecting that blessing to someone else. But sometimes people miss that blessing that God has for them because they don't want to be that connection, but they miss out on it a lot of times, because it's like, let's say someone came and asked you for a ride somewhere, but your schedule is so busy that you feel like, okay, I can't do that. I don't have time to go there. But you don't understand. If you would have taken that person where they needed to go, you would have been blessed in the season, for God has something else for you by doing that for them. Someone else received that blessing, and now you looking at it because they probably were gonna introduce them to somebody that was gonna take them somewhere else. And just because you didn't want to do it, you missed your blessing because you didn't want to be that connection. Like, I ain't got time for all of that. I don't need to do that. they can find somewhere else to go. And it's like, or somebody else to take them. Well, you just missed out on your blessing because you don't want to operate and give them that time and that space that God is saying, okay, can you take them somewhere? And when you do that, like if you give your last five and say, well, God, I might need this five, but they seem like they need it a little bit more than me. And this has happened to me several times. God, I'm down to my last $5, but this person is in need more so than I am. So I'll give it to them. And lo and behold, I get 20 on the other end. It might not be right then, but it might be a day or two later. But God always gives me what I need for helping someone else. And that's just like with the knowledge that I have with publishing and things of that nature. I don't want to die with this information inside of me. Anything that I learn, I want to be able to share it with other people because they know that what God has for me is connected to what they have for me. I'm not sure what happened to Miss Carolyn, but we're going to keep talking because God is in the season of giving you what you've been praying for. But oftentimes, I think we don't prepare for what we've been praying for. It may look like it's not happening because we have a timetable according to when we should be doing something and when it should be done or how it should be done. And then we get upset with God because he's not blessing us how we envisioned it to be. So you got to stop rejecting God's blessings. And oftentimes we do that because it doesn't look like he sent it to us. But God blessed us in the way that he saw fit. You can be on this path to doing something one way, and God's like, okay, I'm gonna send you on a detour just for a moment, but you're gonna end up in the right place at the right time in the right moment where God wants and needs you to be. And you can't get weary of other people. Sometimes you get distracted by other people and they're running their race and they're doing things on a certain time, and you're like, well, God, why haven't you let this happen for me? It ain't your time and it ain't your season. And when it's your time and it is your season, you will get everything that God has already been waiting for you. Sometimes you hinder your own blessings because you want to hold on to certain things. And when God has already told you to let go and walk through the door and don't look back, and then you go and you look back and you miss everything that God has already given to you. God doesn't he doesn't barter, he doesn't negotiate, he doesn't do any of those things. But oftentimes we want to negotiate. God, if you give me this, I'll do this. If you bless me with this, or if you give me that, I'll do this, I'll do that. God ain't negotiating with you about his plans for you. He ain't doing none of that. He's never been one to negotiate. Whatever God has for you, it was already written before you even knew who you were. And some of us are still trying to figure out who we are on this path that God has for us. It's nothing to be dismayed or to be delayed. What God has for you has already been written for you. You just got to take the steps towards it. Stop running away from what God has intended for you. Because I know I have been one of those people who have ran, well, tried to. I couldn't get away because God said, come on back here, child. I got something I need you to do. And me sitting here right now, no guess, this is something that would be really uncomfortable for me. But when I talk about what God has done for me, I don't know anything other than that. Because had it been 14 years ago, I wouldn't be talking if I'd listened to man. But God has allowed me to regain my speech, to regain the mobility, to regain all of the things that man told me I should just get used to not having anymore. But the God that I serve is a God that continues to bless me and to continues to carry me throughout each and every situation that I've ever encountered. So man can talk, but man doesn't know. So when man doesn't know, we don't worry about that. Well, thank you for saying that I'm doing well. This is very different and a little but um all I know is what God places inside of me to be able to do. Um, Not sure what that is, but we are having a little bit of technical difficulties. But whenever you're starting to talk about God, the devil always tries to butt in, but he's not welcome. So we're not gonna give him that grace or that glory. God gets the final say in everything that we do, and every message that we need to send according to His will be heard. So, the only other thing that I want to say is that season 2 of Believe in the Journey has been one of true confirmation for me. Every guest that he has brought to me this season has been a confirmation, even when I didn't think I had the right guest for the right day, for the right topic, or anything of that nature. He solidified during each and every conversation that I had with each and every guest, and the timing was always right where it was supposed to be. And so I'm honored. I'm grateful. This season has truly blown my mind. So I don't know what 2025 is going to bring, but I know it is definitely going to be even better than what season 2 has been. And season 2 has really been a blessing to me. It has connected me to people who have shared similar walks with me, from having major life changing situations, from strokes to learning how to walk again, learning how to talk again, all of those things. So it let me know that everything that I had gone through in my life, in my journey, was connected to the purpose and connected to the moment of right now. Um, I get overwhelmed with emotion, with thinking about the goodness of God and how He has blessed me. Because when I think about 2009, 2013, 2009 stroke, brain aneurysm, and excuse me, 2013 losing my speech. Nobody could tell me what was going on, what was happening, how I was going to get it back. God said, trust me. And that's what I did. I trusted Him, and He brought me through. And I'm able to do exactly what He's told me to do. Little girl, come here. Come here. I'm sorry. I'm crying and my grandbaby's in here, but I'm just talking about how good God has been to me. Um, Losing my speech in 2013, being told to just get used to it. They didn't know how to help me. And being able to talk and do all of this was all by God's design. So if you
Amen.
don't know Him, don't have a relationship with Him, you need to get to know Him for yourself. Don't just take my word for it. Get to know God for yourself, because He is an all-knowing, all-seeing, all-hearing. And if you've been praying to Him and asking Him for something, guidance, understanding, anything, let Him give you what it is that you need, because God knows more. He's never late. He's never um he's never not where He's supposed to be when you call upon Him. So if you know Him, or if you don't know Him, get to know Him for yourself, because God has a plan and He has a purpose for you. But I see you're back, Miss Carolyn.
I
Um
am back. I am back. I'm back. I am a listen. I'm a fighter, I'm not a quitter. So there was some technical difficulties, but nonetheless, failed.
yeah.
I just kept coming back, but I'm glad to be. I'm glad to be back. Loved your testimony, and I love your testimony.
Well,
It is
thank you.
resilience, and this is why we have to be in the position of being each other's keeper.
Yes, ma'am.
Because in those times, which we will have those times.
Yeah.
We're human. In those times when sometimes we don't feel our strength, and then we have a sister that says, "Come on, you can do it.
Exactly.
You can breathe it. You can win it." And that's why we need to have each other in that way.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
but Triveda, listen, uh, if you have questions, I'm here. I mean, I'll talk all night long.
Well,
Subject,
I
but
was gonna ask you about about what do you do to keep your sisters uplifted and empower them in what it is that you do.
so one of the things that I do, periodically I'll put this out on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll say, check on your strong sister.
Yes.
And I say check on your strong sister because lots of times if we see somebody out on social media,
Yeah.
uh, let me say this. I'm I'm known for my candidness and my authentic and my
Best way to be.
that's the things that I'm known for.
Best
Social
way to be.
media is good for reaching millions of people in a setting.
Mm-hmm.
However, oftentimes social media can be a facade
Yep. Illusion.
because what you see on social media may not always represent who I am authentically.
Mm-hmm.
So you see the makeup, the hair, we post,
Mm-hmm.
but there's always something behind that.
Yes, ma'am.
You don't know what it takes for me to post, what it
Mm-hmm.
takes to do an event, what it
Mm-hmm.
takes for me to write a book, what it takes for we don't know all of what it takes Triveda to do what she's doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know.
Yes, ma'am.
And, because I run a media platform, sometimes people might think you just get on a laptop or a camera and you just
Yeah.
pop up. But I know that it takes lots of preparation. And Queen, I'll say this for you to give you your kudos. I've seen how you roll.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta tell you, and not that y'all asked me to tell you, but I'm gonna tell you. I've seen Triveda Harris. I've seen how she rolls. When you guys look on this screen and you see the graphics and the fonts and all that, this was a lady that puts out a lot of energy and a lot of time to make sure that she presents a good show for you guys. She don't play with it. I mean, she puts out graphics. She's working hard to make sure that she's making her guests look good. She's sending out emails. She's doing this thing here, and that's one of the reasons why Triveda tells me to show up. Listen, I'm gonna show up because I know that she just doesn't haphazardly do something. I know she puts her heart into doing what she's doing. So what you guys see, the finished product, is not
Mm-hmm.
what's all behind the scenes. But
True.
some of what she shared, it takes her time to get her body together.
Mm-hmm.
She may be going through some pain and some other things. You know, we're getting technical stuff together. We're getting phones together. We're getting computers together. And what? Not because we're getting paid, but because we want to make sure that we bring you guys an excellence in the best way that we
Exactly.
can. And
Exactly.
so it is incumbent of me, because I know all that, because I know the behind the scenes, to applaud my sisters for saying, hey, girl, I know what you're going through. And I know a lot of people don't see you, but I see you. And so one of the ways that I empower other women is by seeing them, really
Mhm.
seeing them, and telling them that I see them.
Mhm.
Though I know that you're strong to all other people, and you're
Mhm.
strong to me too,
Yeah.
but I just want to come behind the scenes and tell you that I see you, I love you, I applaud you, and most of all, without sounding like Wendy Williams, how you doing for real? How you
I
doing for real?
for
Because we have
real.
to see of putting on a facade, especially if we're of the Christian persuasion.
Mhm.
Sister, how you doing? Oh, I'm blessed and highly
No, it's
favored of the Lord. Girl, listen. I said, how you doing for real? Okay, because I
right.
know that you don't tell everybody, but I'm talking about how you doing for real. You feel like crying right now? You feel like breaking down right now? You don't feel like really doing this right now? You don't feel like doing an interview right now? It's okay to not be okay. And so to answer your question, Triveda, I try to be that sister that
Mhm.
can be in the it's okay to not be okay space. And
Mhm.
because I'm not going to judge you, I'm just going to love you. I'm just going to
Right.
walk with you through that space. I'm going to
Mhm.
be with you through that space. And I think that all of us, especially women, we need to have somebody that's not going to judge us, that's going to see us as we authentically are and say,
Mhm.
I'm here with you. Because everybody can be with you when you're on top of the mountain. Everybody can be
Exactly.
with you when you got some money. Everybody can be with
Exactly.
you when you got some likes and when you got when you're on stages and stuff like that. Who's going to be with you when you don't have all that going on? When you
Exactly.
don't have the likes? When you don't have the money? When you don't have the
Mhm.
capital? Who's going? I choose to be that kind of a sister that's going to be there with you as you authentically are to help
Mhm.
empower you, to help you rise up, to be with you behind the scenes, not talk about you, not judge you, and to see you rise up and to be the first place person clapping her hands and saying, Sister, I love you. I knew you could do it. You can rise up. Because guess what? At the end of the day, we all need that sister. And I
Yeah.
choose to be that kind of sister. Not just a sister, but I choose to be that kind of sister because I know what it means to be on stage and not have nobody clap for you. I know what it means
Exactly.
to be out here doing great things and nobody pat you on the back and say, Sister, you're doing great things. I know what it means to be doing something awesome and nobody is there for you. And I made a
Mhm.
to God that I would be that kind of sister, that I would be there for my sister in whatever way or capacity that I'm able to be there. Because guess what? The only thing fake about me is used to be some nails, but I got real nails now. I don't wear fake. So there might be a couple things fake about me, not too much. So I'm the real sister that's gonna be there for real, as the young people say, FR. I choose to be there for real. Okay.
Mhm.
And that's how I help women. That's how I empower women. I think that most women who network with me, who collaborate with me, can say of Dr. Carolyn, yeah, with all these degrees and everything I got, that I'm the for real kind of sister. Because I know
Mhm.
what it's like to be alone. I know what
You
it's
right.
like to walk alone. I know what it's like to not get applause. I know what it's like to not get a. I'll tell you. I'll be real transparent with you.
Okay.
Coming on here tonight, and I contacted a couple people, and I said, "Hey, I need to tune in." So my very uh, good colleague Tamika, she might be
Mhm.
tonight. That's
Yeah,
my
she's here.
Shamika said, "Hey, Dr. Carol, I'm gonna tune in." That's my girl. I love you, Shamika. I just need her energy to be here. I mean, straight up. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Uh, I had a few other people that I contacted, and I said, "Hey, I just need your energy because guess what? It's always good when you're on. and when you're on stage and when you're doing something that
Mhm.
have you have those people in the room that
Yeah.
say, "Oh, Dr. Karen, you did that, girl. Your hair looks
Exactly.
good. You on fleek, whatever." And we all need that. And so, thank you, Shamika, for being on. Christina Fisher, I think she might be on, but I thank God for her. I mean, and so I texted some people and I said,
Mhm.
"Hey, I need your energy while I'm on this thing tonight, and I just need to feel that you're there with me." Uh,
Right.
Listen, don't get it twisted. I can do a lot of things alone, and the truth of
Mhm.
the matter is, most of us women
Can.
are walking alone.
Right.
That's true. We're walking alone, but if most of us be real honest about it, we don't always
No,
like
want
walking
to.
alone,
Yeah. Very
and we
true.
don't have to be walking alone. If you can't do anything else for a sister, you can show up. Just show
Exactly.
up. Just
Yeah.
show up. Just be there. Uh, I have great memories and great experiences with some people. What I'm talking about, Shamika, she's a therapist like I am. And when she
Mhm.
and I go out to service, I thank God for Shamika because she and I go out and we eat fish dinners together. And that's I'm just a fish. She knows she'll probably laughing right now what I'm talking about. We got a place we go to, and just
Uh-huh.
that dinner every week helps keep me and her stable.
Same.
Uh,
Yeah.
it it doesn't take much to be your sister's keeper, except
Amen.
you make up in your mind. I'm gonna keep
To
my
do that.
sister.
Right.
I'm gonna be there for her. I'm not gonna. I'm thinking about another sister that told me many years ago. I never forget it. I asked her to do something. She's a playwright, and
Mhm.
she said, "You know what, Dr. Carolyn, my schedule. I'm not available to help you right now." She said, "But I'll tell you what I'm gonna do." She said, "If I have to get you some help, what I'm gonna do is I might not be there with you to walk you through it, but I'm gonna make sure you don't fall."
Right.
See, so I want to say this to every woman that's listening tonight. Maybe you can't be there financially, maybe you can't support, but what is it that you can do to make sure that your sister doesn't fall? Because let me
Mhm.
tell you, quite contrary to public belief, if I fall, we all fall. If you
Right.
fall, we all fall. You know what I'm saying? So I got to make
Mhm.
sure I keep you up so that we're up. You know,
Exactly.
that is what it's dependent upon. So one of the ways that or things that I do, Triveda, to help empower women is I have made a part of my life and a part of my platform to show
Mhm.
up and to be there, just
Mhm.
to
Yeah.
support you and to be your background to your foreground if
Mhm.
if that's necessary, but just to be able, because we don't know it. And I gotta say this again in my authentic way, as African American women and as African American people, we don't realize that there is power in numbers. Okay,
Exactly.
and it is a powerful power. If y'all hear nothing else I said tonight, listen to me. It is a powerful thing when we show up.
Exactly.
The reason why other cultures have certain privileges that sometimes we don't tap into is because they show up for their people.
Exactly.
Sometimes we don't show up for our people, and so because we don't show up for our people, they count us as less than nothing. So if
Exactly.
nothing else, let's begin to show up for each other. Let's
Mhm.
begin to show the world that hey, she not by herself. She
Mhm.
got some people rocking with her. If I don't say nothing, I'm here. I'm showing up for her. Let's show up for each other. That's how I'm my sister's keeper. Because if I don't do nothing else, I show up for my sister. I show up for her.
Exactly. And I believe that's one of the big things that we need to do more of. There isn't a good way to be in competition with your sister. My thing is this is one thing that I've always anybody who knows me knows that anything that I have, any knowledge that I get, I'm sharing it with you. I don't want to die with this information that I've learned within, because what I've learned is you're not taking none of this stuff with you anyway when you go. And nothing that you possess is going with you except for what is on your body and within your organs. That's really all that's gonna go with you. Anything that you have that you can share with someone else, share it with them, because I do know what it's like to feel alone, to be alone, to walk. Even getting the bad news of having the stroke, I was alone. There was no family, there was no friends, there was no one there when I got that news. When I had the second episode, there wasn't anybody else there with me, but as I continued with that walk, as my healing, I had my children with me, but they were very young when this all started, when I got diagnosed with this condition. And there is a lot that goes into everything that I do, but I don't just take it lightly, because God put me in a position to be able to share what I have with other people. So I'm never going to be in competition with my sister or my brother, for the simple fact of we are here to love on each other. Our time here on this earth is limited. We only have a small amount of time. We can't make deposits on time. We can't really make withdrawals, but the time that we have is the time that God has given, and you got to make the most of it. And so if you are sitting over here worrying about who's doing what, when they're doing it, how they're doing, that ain't your business. If they don't like you, that ain't your business. What you have to focus on is what God is telling you to do and being obedient to everything he's called you to do. And we get so lost and so distracted on trying to be the popular person. And my thing is this: I made a video a couple years ago, and it's called Purpose Over Popularity. Which one would you rather be? Popular with no agenda, no purpose, no nothing? Or would you rather have a purpose and do something with that popularity? If you want to be popular, that's fine. But if you have absolutely no reason for being popular, there's no purpose behind it. So stay focused and do what it is that God has called you to do. Y'all, we are at 52 minutes and 29 seconds. Miss Carolyn has gone out. There's no connection, but I thank Miss Carolyn for being here tonight, because she dropped some very useful gems on each and every one of us. And I am just as transparent and goofy and silly as the next person. I don't know how to be um, a serious person per se, um, because I find humor even in the most serious moments. Even when I was going through my trials of a stroke at the age of 30, being diagnosed with Chiari malformation, which is a serious neurological condition that there's no cure for, being told to just simply get used to that, to be um, at the age of 33 and lose my speech and lose the use of my left side again, and being told by doctors to not worry about it, to just simply get used to it. But God has brought me through, and he's connected me to the people that are connected to the destiny. That is one thing that I can say about prayer. If you pray and you ask God for something, understand that he's going to take those people away that you are praying. God, connect me to the people that are connected to the destiny and what you have for me. That is a prayer that I prayed in 2019. And when I tell you guys, I have not met a person that has not been connected to the destiny that God has for me. Only thing that he has asked me to do is to continue to take one step at a time towards that destiny. And I'm going to close with this. And I want to thank everybody who has taken the time to tune in at any capacity of any show that we've done this season, because season 2 has been a great season of honor, confirmation, um, testimonies for each and every person that has been part of this show. Um, um, I I don't know what's going on, um, but God has truly blessed me to be in this position and be in this space and have the opportunity to say thank you for making season 2 an amazing season. I thank you and I look forward to you guys tuning in to season 3 because we're only getting started. This is still just the beginning. So remember to stay out of God's business. The only thing that God needs you to do is be obedient to what He's called you to do. I love you guys. And until next season, starting in February 2025, I'll see you then. Love you. And good night.